The Russian embassy in the United States, U.S., commented on the U.S. State Department's reaction to Russia's deployment of tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus, which was confirmed on Thursday. The Russian embassy called the U.S. criticism hypocritical. Before blaming others, Washington needs to do some introspection, the Russian embassy in the U.S. said in a statement Saturday. The comments referred to the U.S. deploying nuclear weapons in Europe over the past decades. The United States has for decades maintained a huge arsenal of nuclear weapons in Europe, said the Russian embassy in the U.S. Together with its NATO allies, the United States is participating in nuclear sharing arrangements and rehearsing scenarios of the use of nuclear weapons against our country, he continued, quoted by Reuters. The Russian embassy stressed that the deployment of tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus is the sovereign right of Russia and Belarus to maintain security. It is the sovereign right of Russia and Belarus to ensure their security in the manner we deem necessary amidst the large-scale hybrid war waged by Washington against us, the Russian embassy in the U.S. said. The steps we are taking are fully consistent with our international legal obligations. U.S. reaction to Russian nuclear deployment to Belarus. U.S. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller described Russia's planned nuclear deployment to Belarus as the latest example of irresponsible behavior. It is the latest example of irresponsible behavior we have seen from Russia since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than a year ago, Matthew Miller told reporters on Friday. Miller repeated U.S. warnings that the use of chemical, biological or nuclear weapons in a conflict would have dire consequences, without elaborating on those consequences. I'd just add that we see no reason to adjust the strategic nuclear posture. Us or any indication that Russia is preparing to use nuclear weapons, Miller said. Russia transfers nuclear weapons to Belarus. Minister of Defense of Russia, Sergei Shoigu, and Minister of Defense of Belarus, Viktor Krenin, signed a document on the deployment of Russian tactical nuclear weapons on Belarusian territory on Thursday. Russia will retain control of its non-strategic nuclear weapons stationed in neighboring Belarus, said Sergei Shoigu, Russian Minister of Defense in Minsk, Belarus. He guaranteed that control over the use of these weapons could only be exercised by Russia, even though they were placed on Belarusian territory. Russia will transfer nuclear weapons to the Belarusian Republic. Control over them and the decision to use them remains with Russia, he said, quoted by TASS. Earlier, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said Russia had begun transferring tactical nuclear weapons to his country. The transfer of nuclear ammunition has begun, President Lukashenko told reporters while attending the Second Eurasian Economic Forum in Moscow, Russia, Thursday, as reported by the Moscow Times. However, Lukashenko did not specify whether any of the Russian tactical nuclear weapons had actually arrived in his country and how many tactical nuclear weapons were deployed in Belarus.